Yay, hello, and welcome to this week of Magnet Marketers. It's Training Tuesday Live. We're excited to be here with you today talking about changes in social media, the other constant that we can expect in the world of online marketing. We have lots of changes to get through today that will impact your brand, so you'll want to stay tuned and hear about all of those updates. But before we dive into all the goodies, if we've not met before, hello. My name is Jessica Phillips with Now Marketing Group and the Relationship Marketing System. I'm an awesome co-host. He's Mike Gingrich. He is the president of Digital Hill, the co-founder of the popular apps Waftio, Tabsite, and published author extraordinaire. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, doing well. Looking forward to this. There's just been a whole lot of things rolling out, and we've got to get people, make sure they're up to date on these items as kind of we near that, fourth quarter and holiday stretch coming up.
Absolutely. So
I think there's going to be a lot of online shopping done in the next quarter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know we mentioned on here before, but if you weren't here for that stat, the first 8 weeks of the pandemic, which I know we're all getting tired of that word, but the first 8 weeks of that, we had more online shopping done than the past 10 years before that. And it's only growing, and we're getting ready to get into the holiday season. As you can see, I'm, basic white girling it up today with fall in my fall scarf already here in Ohio, but it's all good. And speaking of changes, as we dive into, I know here on StreamYard, where we're streaming live from, we've been able to expand this show to hit up Periscope and several other places on LinkedIn. Yeah, definitely claps for that. So let us know where you're watching and joining in from, as well as what you think of these changes. So Mike, without further ado, I know there's a lot of them. You want to start with LinkedIn?
Yeah, however, I will start even broader than that and just say, the word for me when I look at some of these things, maybe two words, but one of the words is stories. You're going to hear that repeated a number of times as we talk about different updates here. And so stories has been a whoa. I know Bella's thank you for commenting, Bella, and you're referring to that, some of those e-commerce stats, but yeah. So stories and ads, you're gonna hear a number about those pieces, but things where I never thought stories would be, and now stories is mainstream.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and that's one of the first topics there is stories on LinkedIn. So that'd be kind of maybe a first question out there for those tuning in. Do you have it? Are you using it? Did you test it out yet? And do you see them at the top of your mobile app there? I do. I have them. I've explored, tested out a little bit, put one out there, and checking them out. So I think the one thing that I see is that right now, now's the time to jump on if you do have it, because it's not saturated. I mean, there's not everybody is using it yet. So if you've been planning stories content that, for other places that might be relevant here, it's time to evaluate that, because it's not everybody has jumped in yet. They will, but you can be seen, pretty well at this point in time.
And you're spot on with LinkedIn, of course, being that platform that we consider kind of that business network, right? And for people, when they think stories, we're most often thinking, okay, sharing a day in the life of us, most often, sometimes in the personal scene, but this is allowing, individuals that are really there for business, right, to then use stories in a way that connects, that they can resonate with. And let me give you an example. So LinkedIn, when I got stories late last week, and they have some prompting questions there, or some gifts that you can add, or stickers that are telling people like a new blog is up, all of that. So you can think about how you can truly integrate this with your brand strategy to get a little bit more comfortable with sharing things that are related to you and what you're doing in your business, not feel like you're just adding fluff, even though I'm a huge fan of, some of the behind the scenes things and showing a side of your personal life. But it has been harder, honestly, even for me to get behind a lot of stories, because when I'm in work mode, I'm doing, work mode, and my kids being at the age where they don't want me to include them in a lot of stories, and me just kind of being go, 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 I don't often stop, pause, and create in that manner that of something that I think would be interesting to share in stories. I'm working on it though, because I feel, as you said, Mike, we're going to talk a lot about stories, ads, a lot of things that are going to be imperative for businesses to truly embrace, whether you got it figured out or not, because we've talked a lot about dark social on here and how everything's moving more to private, more niche communities, and people wanting more intimate connections with brands and the people behind the brands. In order to build that relationships, it's going to invite people to the conversation, really impact their purchasing decisions, where they're going to hear about things, and really allowing brands to stand out amongst the rest of the noise online. So definitely encourage you to check out stories. Like Mike said, he's diving in and playing around with it and seeing what options they have to kind of just get your feet wet a little bit. If you're not comfortable, maybe sharing your face and all of that, just start being comfortable with sharing. So like, for example, yesterday, I posted a image in stories on LinkedIn and just said, it was me holding a globe for Now Marketing Group and said, hey, where's the first place you want to visit when we're all traveling again? And I got a lot of reactions, and that brought it into my inbox, where I was then able to follow up with a conversational response and to start building that conversation in the inbox. So try it out, start with a question, something open-ended. Don't just use it for promotion, definitely use it as a way of, again, getting those relationships built in the inbox. So hey, April, good to see you.
Yeah, April's here. And I want to add to that, just because, and April asked me the question, do you have stories, Mike? Yes, I have the LinkedIn stories. And so I've got one actually out there right now, just kind of exploring with it. But I think that, stories is, it's unique in the sense that, it's one to many, like you're putting it out there and a lot of people can see that story. But then it immediately becomes one to one. Like if somebody comments on that story, so that's kind of where you're talking about the, the dark social, where it moves down to kind of that private status right away. Bella's here. She's a master of stories and because you said, in the moment, and Bella does that tremendously. Like, she's kind of documenting things during her day, as she goes, the pre-up to an event, and little pieces there and afterwards, and getting out in her convertible afterwards, all that kind of stuff. So you just see that side of Bella. She does a great job with that. But I think it's just interesting how it can develop that. I just did, I went to a couple stories on LinkedIn this afternoon here, and as kind of just prep back work, for those things, and was watching some commenting on, Stephanie Liu, that type of thing.
I was just going to mention her. Yeah.
She got back to me right away. And, so then it's one to one right there. She's like, "Hi, Mike," and we chat a little bit. So there was that moment, that personalization. But yeah, Stephanie.
Well, I found out about a class that she was doing because she was showing you behind the scenes, and I'm big into NLP as well, and didn't realize that she was already hosting, a course on it, and tagged several of the friends that were in it with her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yay, congratulations on graduation day for all those individuals. And hey, let me know when the next one comes out. So very first one that I was clicking on, and it's going to lead into a sale. So definitely something that can really impact brands today. So check it out. If you don't have it yet, don't worry. I see you, April. You say, I don't have it yet. I know.
I was curious with other people. Please comment. Let us know if you got them or not. Yeah.
I was FOMOing as well. I got tagged in a story before I even had the story. I was like, oh, this is brutal. It's torture, but don't worry. It's coming to you soon. And LinkedIn is making a lot of updates. I know Agora Pulse just had an amazing LinkedIn summit, which they're still expanding the free access to this. But I'm bringing that up because I spoke at it, and I mentioned like all these changes that LinkedIn's making to make it more human and make it, a more connected, real relationship kind of place, because it still does get sometimes a bad rap for not having the best groups on there, as well as getting those inbox messages that, you get kind of spammed right away. So there's a lot still that they're working out, but they're advancing a lot of these more human relationship building tools and techniques that they're adding into the app. And One of them being, with personalization is ads, another thing that you mentioned. So our next update, that kudos for LinkedIn, or to LinkedIn for doing this, is really allowing you to kind of drill in on, your updates to how you're targeting and giving you a guide to do so. Because as you mentioned, Mike, ads are going to grow. And especially right now with the election that's happening, where ads were reduced, and it was a great time to start doing ads on like Facebook and Instagram during the beginning of 2020, because some people were cutting their ad spend with the uncertainties that were going on. But now, the ad spends are becoming a lot more competitive, a lot more expensive. So targeting in having good creative is going to be key for you as a brand, especially as we enter the holiday season, which backs up with the election time period. So LinkedIn has made some advancements to their targeting, and here's what they said. I'm going to share this link as well in the comments so you can reference it, because they do give a guide and then have a course in their LinkedIn Learning on it, which is great. But they said they're making it a lot easier to understand, the features and functions in their targeting interface. They have insider tips for maximizing your targeting proficiency and an in-depth look into each professional attribute category. So that's one thing I love about it. If you're looking for a specific person within a role, the decision maker, LinkedIn is a great place to get that insight. But they have guidance on their new features like matched audiences, which is awesome, retargeting by video and lead gen forms, which you don't even have to have a landing page if your website's not up to snuff and you don't want to just direct them to a random page on your website. You can actually create the ad there and have your lead form and everything hosted right on LinkedIn. Website retargeting, contact targeting, and company list targeting. So think about it like this. If you were hosting an event, or you have people that you really want to get in front of before the end of the year, you can literally find those specific people right on LinkedIn if, they're in the tool, of course, or target kind of like, not using Facebook's terminology, but the lookalike audience, if you will. So LinkedIn is made several advancements to that recently. So I'm going to post that link in here if that's of benefit to any of you for doing some smarter ad targeting that's really going to help you maximize your ad budget.
Yep. And so Jessica's posting a link, which is the post about the article, but at the bottom of that then is a button to go to that free guide that you can download then. So I think that's valuable. I think, Facebook has set a standard that offered a lot of tools, and at times I felt like LinkedIn was lagging a little bit on that. And hey, it's a great update. It's got a lot of pieces there. So they've really ramped up the game there, which is necessary. And again, when you're really targeting that B2B audience, hard to beat what the power of LinkedIn for that network there. So again, those covered those two topics, stories and ads right there. And we better keep rolling if we're going to get through this list. So I'm going to move to Pinterest.
Sure.
And stories once again. So Pinterest stories. And so that's, I don't know if you've looked at that too much. Again, out there, the audience, speaking to you, if you've been on Pinterest and you've experimented with that, let us know and comment on here. So just so we can kind of see who's been dealing with that. More so me, it's just been kind of perusing the stories as opposed to kind of trying to create content that way. I've looked at that piece, but I am looking at that, and it was interesting for me. It was kind of a combination of because almost like stories and reels, or stories and TikTok a little bit, just because I can find them there. They got my little bubbles, and then but I kind of scroll up to get to my next one, a la reels and TikTok-esque in that feature there. So unique to Pinterest, kind of a mixture, moving in that realm. But again, and mine were little kind of, I was watching people with some short little video clips, things like that there, and again, very helpful. Kind of brings it to life, for some of the Well, the ones I was watching here were more like some fitness related ones, but also, in the recipe cooking realm. So those are just quick
Yeah.
examples.
Yeah, great examples. And so I want to read what Pinterest says about it because they've expanded this over the past year and now they're adding analytics to it. But they say Story Pins is an all new type of pin and publishing option that gives creator a way to tell dynamic and visual stories with videos, voiceover, and image and text overlay. We're making it easier for creators who are eager to share their talent, passions, and creativity to flow back directly into Pinterest without the need for a website. For pinners, this means the ideas within a pin will be more engaging and actionable. I love the word engaging in there and actionable. So I'm going to give you a use case for this. We had a client, we've been working on this grant with Ohio, part of the CARES Act, where they're helping small businesses that were just launching their business or trying to get, growing their business right before 2020. And then all this hit and they really didn't have a marketing budget, nor did they have like a great website or anything really going. They just had a great product or service. And they've been working with the Small Business Development Center on growing and learning the ways to grow their business. So anywho, the grant is helping us work with them to help amp up their marketing and their online presence, which is awesome for them. But we're starting now and they have no website with one of these clients, nothing, right? All they're selling on is Etsy and really reliant on that shop in order to kind of get the sales in for creator. And they're selling fabric is the one I'm talking about. And so for Pinterest, even though they're not selling like to the crafter, they're selling to the person creating the crafts, right? The fabric. So they're B2B. What we've been able to do is come up with ideas for them to then engage their community to share what they're creating, use it and look at this way of using Pinterest and pin stories to share that out, to not only then promote their audience, to build that relationship there, drive traffic to them, but then also at the end of the day, it's going to drive it back to that business. So engaging and actionable, I think, is the key operative words in that statement of what Pinterest is trying to do. And they're giving you analytics on it. So Pinterest is highly search engine rich. It's highly, a place where people go that are into specific, niches and things. So think about it on what you can inspire for future purchases or future actions that could be taken, and use Pinterest as a way and the stories in a way to engage and create that actionable insights.
Yeah. Good. Great use case. That's a golden nugget right there. So yeah, I mean, everybody's evolving, shifting, and making advancements. And then obviously just the analytics is great on that. So just giving you some specific feedback that helps you see what content's resonating and what you want to do more of, what you want to tweak, all those kind of pieces.
Absolutely. And I love Pinterest's next one in the same spirit of holidays and getting there. I can't believe like we write for content a month ahead and we're like talking about writing content for November for clients already. And I'm like, wait, what? How do we get in November? What is happening right now? But anyway, it's coming, whether we like it or not, or ready or not. But Pinterest is now creating a holiday hub as well. They launched it. And I'm going to post the link in here to give you a marketing guide to assist with your holiday campaign. So they're announcing, they've launched several different things. We're only like hitting the tip of the iceberg with both LinkedIn and Pinterest that we've talked about on all the launches that they've made. All these social platforms have been crazy busy with coding, but they said, and when was this published? September 22nd. And they said, Christmas is only 94 days away. So now we're even closer this week. And they have launched this holiday marketing hub in order to help businesses tap into pins to help them maximize their holiday sales performance. So the hub includes links to a range of Pinterest resources and tools, including research reports of what's worked, right? And the audience persona insights. So who your audience is there. So if you're on the fence of would Pinterest work for me or not, right? Like, is it a smart use of my time to get that, actionable engagement and actual like sales, this could be a great way for you to check it out and test and look and to see if this marketing guide, if Pinterest is for you or not. So really cool that they've launched this. It's 13 pages long. They said it's called Think Outside the Black Friday Box.
Like
so
that.
I love it. I'm going to post that link. It's long and ugly. Sorry, guys. This will be in the recap of the blog that we have on nowmarketinggroup.com/blog at the end of the week, or right after when we do a recap of the show with all these links in there with information on what we discussed as well. But yeah.
Yep. And one of the quotes from the PDF there, Black Friday is now in October, in a parking lot or online. I mean, I think just the expansion of what used to be one day, Black Friday, and now it's just synonymous with e-commerce, and there was Cyber Monday, but that's just all rolled into it now, but it's moved up so many weeks.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. I mean, everybody keeps trying to like move it up early, and with, some things going out of stock with everything going on. Yes. I mean, if you're not already thinking about holiday and what that looks like for your brand, whether you're an e-commerce business or not, honestly, like, yes, definitely. If you're an e-commerce brand, you need to be thinking about this stuff and acting on it already. But even if you're not, like, having your end of the year plan of reaching goals kind of planned out, looked at what's been happening so far and how you can still reach those goals. But I mean, a lot of our clients that are e-commerce related or trying to become e-commerce to really incorporate their sales process online are starting now. And it doesn't, you can have fun with it, right? Like incorporate some of these new ways of reaching your audience and meeting them where they're at. You can't expect them just to come to you. And I think all of these platforms are incorporating ways for you to get closer to your audience of where they're hanging out and not just waiting for them to stumble across your site.
Yep. Some great resources there that Pinterest put together in that PDF. And the changes keep coming.
Holiday movies. Oh my gosh, my daughter too. She heard that Lifetime's rolling out like 26 new Christmas movies, and she's like, "Mom, can we add that onto our Roku?" I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have the same plot, but I'm a sucker for that too. So we'll see. Ready to move on to Instagram?
Yep. Some new updates with Reels. So longer clips, improved trimming options. So I think that, it wasn't too long ago, we were just talking about the launch of Reels. That was the beginning of August, right? This is still
with Jen Herman.
Okay. Yes, that's right. And now we're already, so I guess, it's there. It's called traction. People are beginning to connect with it, and they've offered some new tools there. Now allow users to create Reels of up to 30 seconds. Okay, so I think that's a positive, and 2020 needs some more positive, right? There are things April, yes. And so the 30-second ones will be great. We'll get more extended content from people. Thinking of what people post. Bella's on here again. Yay for Christmas movies, but we'll get 30 seconds in Bella clips along the way here. So we'll look forward to those things. And then I think, again, making it easier for people to kind of clip, trim, get what they want and get that live is a powerful tool. But what you're seeing is Instagram multifaceted content tool. Swiss Army knife. That it is.
Yeah. And so you're right. Like, and I think that was Jen Herman when she was on, that was one of her biggest complaints, is that it took so long to create the content for Reels that she wasn't sure if it was really worth it and worth the investment. So I think they're taking feedback seriously on Reels and the challenge that it's been for people that are used to just stories, and trying to incorporate that, because I think they're trying to go against TikTok. And so they need to have a more frictionless experience for people to use it, to truly adopt it into what they're posting. But yeah, so new updates there. So if you haven't tried Reels out, or if you tried it the first time it launched and then haven't been back, maybe give it another shot and see what you think. And let us know if you're someone that does use Reels. I know I've seen Bella's in there. She's like a stories master, and love what she creates on there. So check her out.
Yeah.
See how she's doing it.
Let's see. So one of the other points that they make is that Reels creators will now be able to extend the timer by 10 seconds as they record their clips. So just kind of, again, just helping you with options, let you know what's coming down the pike there, I think. And April brings up a good question here. Love this, guys. I don't know if you want to put that one. Any thoughts on time management of stories? How often you should be using them? I'll give a couple thoughts on that, Jessica. You can add to this, but I think that when you put a story up, you can't just do like a single story. So when you do it, you're probably gonna have to do a little bit of a series. So you want to think of 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of, and maybe there's a sequence that kind of comes together. Those type of pieces, and so that's a key. I think it just can't be one and done kind of piece that stands alone.
It's in its name. It's in its name. It's like tell the story.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key with stories is giving them access, but then telling what kind of story are you trying to tell? What are you trying to, what kind of emotion are you trying to evoke? And what's your overall goal with it? So that's where I've been looking and refining because, I'm like, I don't want to just put something out there to put it out there. I know that I need to do it though. So it's really just thinking about that. And it could be something as simple as, sharing something that you're passionate about and talking about it, or a topic of the day. I've seen people ask questions and then share the responses from people they get. That's still telling a story. It's in creating that engagement that you are then bringing people closer to either your brand and your brand manifesto or yourself. And the whole goal should be just to create a more intimate experience with those that you want to connect with at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. And then in terms of frequency, what do you think? Now we talked about the series, so that's how many go together, but like over the course of a week, should we address that a little bit? Because I've seen, and I think that, personalities, if it's a person that, so then, some regular content can be good and almost expected, for someone that's communicating that way, the audience.
Yeah. So I will come flat out and say, I don't know, personally, because I haven't done it. And so I never want to preach on something I haven't done consistently, that I could give you great advice on. But what I've heard, and I did Phil Palin. I know you've met him before at Social Media Week Lima, and then Jen Herman and some other experts speak on, is that you start losing attention after like your third story, if you will, unless you're asking a question or something of engagement. And as far as consistency goes, I don't think it's going to hurt to go daily, depending on your type of content. So look at your analytics, but I don't want to claim to know the exact strategy and what's going to work and what's not, because I think it's sometimes different for different brands.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So what I'll do in the blog recap is link to some of the studies that have been done, and then really just test and try out for yourself. But I know with some of our clients, it's been great for them doing it daily and doing like 3 in a row. And some clients that are kind of more using it with just promoting like a product or something, you don't want to do that many,
No, you can't.
It's like, over spreading that out. So I'm gonna play around with it, but great question. Instagram, there's another one. And I know we have a ton of more to get to. So I want to move this along to another Instagram update that I also think will be very helpful for brands. And that's Instagram's adding automatic closed captions for IGTV videos, which I know there's been some love-hate kind of with IGTV. What I do like is that it will post into your story, or to your post, and then take people to IGTV. So if you do have, a video or something helpful that's a little bit longer, this could be a great place for you to kind of test out, does it work better in just stories or IGTV? So like if you have a video, maybe like we take a nugget from here and we want to share into IGTV, we can do it as a post and then bring it into IGTV. But now the auto captions are going to come on if you want. So people that are, again, watching the videos like they do on Facebook and many other tools, and they don't have the volume all the way up, or there is, a hearing impairment that's going on, and you want to make sure that they're getting what you're saying, right? And I've even done it where it's somebody's talking fast, and now I can kind of see exactly what they said or have an accent, any of that. So closed caption, I think, is a great addition to IGTV.
I think so as well. I think that that's, just trying to look at improving the tool, and that's what they're working on. Should we switch to Facebook?
Yes. So there is a ton to go through with Facebook. So we'll kind of speed this up a little bit, but again, we'll have the blog recap that has these nuggets in it, in articles to reference back to see how it applies to your brand. But the very first one that I actually just stumbled upon last night when I was looking at the market, trying to find the marketplace on my phone, but I seen Facebook Campus on there. And so Facebook has rolled out Facebook Campus, and what they're saying about it is that they have a dedicated section to Facebook app designed for students with a campus profile that's different from their main profile. They can create one, and allows them to set up a relationship and connect with other students that are, going to this campus. And with more and more campuses that are going or integrating more of a remote kind of learning experience versus just the traditional in person, this is a great way for universities to not only get connected and facilitate, even if they want to get involved with those relationships being made, because that's some of the best parts of your college experience, right? So they have a campus only news feed for college email verified space designed for students to get updates from classmates, groups, and events in a college specific feed. So they can create study groups, plan virtual concerts, or ask for advice with college only groups and events. College only being the key, and they're verifying with a college email address. So it's not like any brand can join there just because you're selling to these students. This is specifically for universities and people that are attending college. They'll have a campus directory so they can find people again and relate to their classmates, and having a new way to chat. So campus chats are real-time chat rooms. Students can create rooms for their dorm, their club, or other groups that they are part of within the campus. So they're starting to roll this out. Now they're, of course, making sure that the privacy things are set in place. But for universities, what an amazing addition for Facebook to really try to build that community again and make you feel like you're not going through this alone if you're going to school. Especially, I can't imagine, high school seniors from last year and going to college now without something like this, to bring you closer.
I think in this day and age, there's a need for that. Whether college students and Facebook will connect that way, we'll see. So yeah, I think that's a tool that is out there and it's good. And I want to move on and go to Facebook hashtags now. Obviously, Facebook's made a renewed push for them, and they want to get those out there. They want to have people begin using them, and they made an update to Composer, the tool that you can use, that they recommend you use, and they expanded the new hashtag, so pulling them up and giving you metrics within post, the Composer there. So I think that's a nice add as well.
Yeah, and they're doing suggested hashtags. So I actually found myself using hashtag yesterday too. For the first time, I was looking for eyebrows being done. I'll just throw it out there. And I was trying to find a place in my area that does it. And I was not coming up with any results on Google. These people in Lima, Ohio need websites. Please call me if you are watching from Lima and you do this, because I can't find you. Okay. And I want to. So I was looking online to see if somebody had posted about theirs getting done and using a hashtag. And so I was using it. And so it was kind of cool to stumble across that not only are hashtags being more utilized in Facebook, but they're also, having them as part of suggested additional hashtags that could be used, that are most often used. And they're making this a way of filtering and sorting content. So more brands are discovered if you're using it, and more public posts are discovered when using it with using hashtags. So I'm going to put a link to that, but they're going to, they're testing out more metrics in how you can add this to the composer, which kind of leads us to our next big update. If you've not already seen this or been notified of it, but Facebook has launched out their new business suite, and it's rolling out in September this year. So you either have already received it or you're going to receive it if you manage business pages on Facebook. And this was a beautiful update because not only where I using an account manager's using, the Facebook Creator Studio, and then I had the Facebook apps, ads manager on my phone and going there, and then, using Instagram, all that. Now they've integrated all of this into a Google or to a Facebook business suite for business. And what you can do is see all of your post. You can schedule in one spot. You can see real-time and analytics and engagement stats on your post. You can link in the Instagram. Everything's all in one spot, even your ads now within this suite of tools. So your Creator Studio, your Instagram, your Facebook ads, like all of it in one spot. And they're trying to make it a lot easier. So the app takes a little getting used to. It's a little different for me anyway. It did to see how to navigate things and how to get back to things. But I think it's making things easier. You have all these tools, but when they're all separated, it's kind of hard to navigate around. So I think having it all in one business suite is a great idea.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say the next one I don't know too much about, so maybe you want to add some thoughts on the claim your images and intellectual property with Facebook's rights manager.
Yes. So, okay, this one I get super passionate about sometimes with intellectual property, and it's because, okay, we know that media, images, videos work really well when we're trying to create content that can tell a story that people want to engage with. And unfortunately, it becomes too easy for someone to take your hard work and to just save and download it if you haven't protected it and to use it in their post. We've seen this even with like Google images being taken and, shared as posts on Facebook. Well, now Facebook has rolled out a tool that you have to sign up for. So let me first caveat that you have to sign up for it. It's called the Rights Manager, and you can set up an account. So if you are a creator and you're consistently creating, great content, all you have to do is go to this tool or go to the site, I should say, sign up for it, and then have, tag in your videos that you've used or created, and then they will do the work for you. So they will be scanning Facebook if somebody's uploaded it, and if they've publish content that is your property, and they will have them take it down, or they'll take it down for them. So it's called the Rights Manager. It says via Facebook, a powerful, highly customizable tool. Rights Manager lives within Facebook Creator Studio platform, is built for people who want to control the when, how, and where their content is shared across Facebook and Instagram. Yep. From creators who post their own unique content to publishing houses that don't post to Facebook at all, Rights Manager can be customized to meet business goals of any size. And this comes to play. I have one of our clients, Mr. Manhole, we've shared videos on that have went kind of viral because it's a unique tool. People haven't, seen it before, and it's interesting. Where we've had this happen to us, where they've taken the video and they've edited the video to try to spin it off on their, craziest tools Facebook channel or whatever, and used it without permission. And, the naming was wrong, all that stuff is wrong. So this is something that it will allow you, again, more control over what's being shared, how it's being shared, and especially because Facebook dings you if your content, I shouldn't say dings you, but you don't get as much engagement or views on your videos or your content that you're sharing if it's not unique content. So even if you didn't care if someone was sharing it, but if it's not coming from you directly before they do, it can still hugely impact the engagement and the visibility that you're going to see on your video, especially with now they have Facebook watch section and all of that. And all of this being, all the content that's being taken in and published online, you want to just make sure you know where your stuff's out at, who's using it, and
Right.
that if they are using it, that you can control if they're able to download it or if they're just sharing it.
Good stuff there. And Brian Fanzo, he likes your name drop, Mr. Manhole. Yeah.
I don't know. I try to use real
Awesome,
examples.
awesome brand name, right? Yes.
I know.
And, but again, unique product, and
Mhm.
needing to want to have some control over their
Mhm.
assets and what they've done, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So
Because many of you
thank you
don't
for
know
bringing
it till
that to our
it's too
attention.
late, right? Like you don't know
Right.
where. So yeah. Trey Wheeler, good to see you here as well. Could
Trey
also
man.
put you up for a lawsuit. True.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Trey. So even with images, so I can't even tell you how many clients or few they became clients after had contacted us, and they're like, "Hey, I got this letter from Getty or Associated Press or whatever that's saying that I owe them $800 for a post I put out with an image on it." And one of them, they had found the image on like one of those free royalty free image sites. And they were asking us if it's legit. And I was like, this is definitely legit. Like you have to pay if you have not taken the photo or purchased the photo and you or the video, then yeah, if it's somebody else's property, they can definitely send you just a letter that says, hey, you owe us this amount of money and you have to pay it, unfortunately. So it's not worth it. Just create your own or get a royalty free,
Yep.
certificate for it and that says you're allowed to use it. So I know
Yep.
we're winding down on time here, so I want to hit another one really, really quick. A couple of them, I should say. Facebook video playlists and categories. So kind of along the same thing, Mike, as we're talking about with stories and just everything that's being added to these social platforms that are really just the goal is to get more engagement and action being taken within Facebook. What they're creating in the creator studio in the watch section specifically is now telling you how to organize your content so you get more views. Because what all platforms do is tell you or show up content to you from what you've watched or searched previously of what they think you would want to see. So if you have several videos and maybe it's a series, you can organize your content in a way to where you're going to get more visibility back. You're going to get a more loyal audience, more repeat eyeballs, if you will, and hopefully be able to build the relationship faster. So I love that Facebook is now, rolling out some of these tools, as are several others that we mentioned, to guide you along the way so you don't just have to guess. So according to them, they say Facebook Watch is a video destination, and as Facebook Watch continues to grow, we actually really wanted to focus on making publishing videos on Facebook way more flexible than it ever has been before. And with that, we wanted to create a powerful new ways to publish, organize, and drive delivery around your content. Playlist and series is a way to do just that. And content format type to enable three things: organizing your video, driving discovery, and publishing your content. So they're giving you a playlist to collect videos that share a particular theme or topic, not a group of episodes in one series and such. Not just a group of episodes, right? Like things that have a specific topic. A series, so videos in a series, like as you would expect, right? Like one after another sequence. And episodes, Facebook says that the difference between the two options is that your content counts as episodes in a set than it is a series. But if you're doing tutorials and thematic content that doesn't necessarily fit into a traditional TV series format, then it can be grouped in different playlists together to give you a better option to getting more visibility. It doesn't have to be just an either or, but if it is an episodic, content that would make sense like a TV series, put it in that way. But other than that, you can sort content into categories. So they're going to give you both options there and allow you to sort your content that way.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's you think about that. You think about some of the things you've been able to do with, like a YouTube playlist we're all familiar with, and those types of pieces where it can just help you group better. But now knowing that grouping of that can also feed into being found in search better, hey, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. No, I like that one. I'll just mention this one quick. Yeah, Brian, that's great as well. I mean,
Yeah.
bad news can spread like wildfire, but some of these are some robust things, and we haven't heard a lot of people talking about them. So,
Yeah.
And I'll just mention this again. I don't even think this one's gotten a lot of play, but for marketers, this is significant because it's been such a challenge for so long that that 20%
Yes.
text limit on text has been removed, so that you
For
can
ad.
have 22%, you can have 28%, you can
Mhm.
have 44% text in an image,
Mhm.
and the ad will get approved. They're no longer gonna knock that, and lower the reach and all those kind of pieces on
Mhm.
an ad because of what's been called for years the 20% text rule. So it's gone.
Thank Jesus. Oh my God. Like that was like the worst because it was if your logo was one that had letters in it, right? Like they
Yeah,
considered that part of the 20%. So you had to,
that was a bang. Yeah.
you had to have
Like,
ridiculously small font or in your logo, could be seen or your logo is
yep.
kind of like, yeah. So thank goodness, like right before the holiday season, you don't have to limit the text that is on your ad images. However, that being said, do keep in mind that images that do not have a lot of text on it do still get more engagement. So think about it before you're creating. Don't just like slam a bunch of text on there, and because the limit is restrictions have been taken off, do take into consideration what is working for ads. But I could even see like, the first the three types of ads that you're creating: awareness, consideration, conversion. When you get into the consideration point, if you're showing like a testimonial or you're using, the text for the captions of what's being said in the video, like whatever, not that that was taken into consideration, but you get the idea, right? Like
Yep.
making sure that you're using it in a way that's still not going to deter anyone from wanting to click on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, the experience definitely matters and that type of thing, but it's taken away just that hassle. Just so you said, when you have a little point you want to get across, but your logo had text and you kept coming out at 28%, and you're like, wow, and it
yeah,
felt like it messed up the image then because you had to finagle it to try to get that 20%. So as you
so
break
annoying.
this thing into a grid, we don't have to worry about those grids anymore.
Yeah, it was so annoying. And you'd be like, I mean, I would find like, it's not 20%, it's not more than 20%. You're just because it's not all in one corner. Like, come on.
Yes,
But yeah, so those headaches are over. And
yes,
all of the social media ad managers were joyous. Yes.
yep,
So yeah, there's a couple more updates that we'll
yeah.
just mention. And again, we'll have this in the recap of all of this with the link so you can find out more. So you can go to nowmarketinggroup.com/blog, or just go to the homepage of the website and a little thing will pop up for you to join our email. And we'll send you this. We promise we don't spam. We hate that too. So that's not us, but we will send you the recap in email, or you can just come back to the site by Friday and it'll be there. But a couple other announcements, super, super quick, that you may be wondering what's up with it since it's been in the air for a while. But TikTok, as well as I'm just going to throw Wechat in there. Basically, they are now in talks of not being shut down. They're going to continue. American-based company, Oracle, with Walmart and several others that are part of this group are going to be purchasing. These are the rumors. I don't know that the ink is dry on that final decision yet, but that's what the word is on the streets, if you will, and online, that it's going to be staying around for us as individuals to use it, as well as brands to use the tools as well, that they're not going to be blocked anymore.
Yep. So that's a key. We'll have to watch what that is. But I know that there was even a stay put on because it was supposed to be perhaps taken down here last weekend, kind of thing. But no, it's still there. They've sent out messages saying, hey, carrying on, continue on, that type of thing. So that's here. And you want to mention the Reddit piece there?
Yeah. So again, with the ad theme, so Reddit's having ad
Reddit.
updates, very similar to what LinkedIn's doing, an ad inventory of types of ads that you can create and how you can enhance them to get the best the best out of your ad, the best ROI from your ad. So, and more control over how it shows up, who it shows up to, so you can maximize your ad dollars. So that's by Reddit. Another one, last one with YouTube that we have time to talk about today is that the ad gate is being, or excuse me, I should say the age gate, excuse me, is being enhanced even more so on YouTube videos. They're really trying to integrate some AI that looks and scans the videos and determines what's age appropriate and what's not. And really kind of enhancing those rules and stipulations on how your video is showing up and who you say your video is for. So this comes from, I forget the name of the law. Oh, I should have put that in there. That came, what was it, 2 years ago? Year and a half ago? The YouTube rolled out for this reason.
And up to this point, it's been largely, you get those questions and you kind of have to go through those and manually check, that's not for kids, that type of thing. But now, obviously, there's just a need for a further check, and so a safety measure that's being enhanced, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, so anything that's not appropriate for viewers under 18. So going forward, they're saying they will build on their approach of using machine learning to detect content for review by developing and adapting their technology to help automatically apply age restrictions. So yeah, kudos to YouTube for taking this serious. I know last week we talked about, the social dilemma. So I'm glad that these tools are taking some measures to ensure their social responsibility, if you will. So things like this continue to increase as well, us as brands or anyone that's publishing the content. So of course, this shows to help you kind of understand what's out there, but something to keep in mind when you're publishing the video to make sure that you're checking the right box, if you will, if you're uploading videos, to say who it's for and who it's appropriate for. Because kids are out there watching, that's for sure.
Right.
So, well, yeah, we went a little over, but that's okay. There was a lot of updates, but we will recap these and more again on the blog, nowmarketinggroup.com/blog, or feel free to drop us a question in here if there's an update that you want more information on, or if there's one that you want to be talked about in more detail. Please let us know. But thanks again for tuning in with us this week on Magnet Marketers. Our goal is always to help you become a magnet with your marketing versus being a bullhorn. Until next week, Tuesday, we'll be back here again, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Take care, folks. See you later.
Yeah, bye.